Very cradle of liberty. Washington. Good, excellent. Take center stage, please, if you would. That's the center line right there. Very excellent. Let's have him say something, a smart-sounding word, to just make sure his voice is good. What's a smart-sounding word?
Pusillanimous.
Pusillanimous. Can you just say pusillanimous? Reach the back of the courtyard.
Pusillanimous.
That's a tough word, though. Say, Excelsior.
Excelsior.
Did everyone hear him? All right? All right. Well, we're going to have you read a little something. If you could, loud so that everyone can hear. Full voice. Right there, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following is a dramatization of a conversation that never actually took place. While all the facts are correct, it does not actually depict an event. No historical persons were harmed in the making of this narrative. We now present The Big Boom.
Good day, everyone.
Good day.
Welcome to the Betsy Ross house.
Today we're going to tell you the story of how Philadelphia came to be here.
After all, before there was a flag, there had to be something for the flag to fly over.
Along the way, we're going to be asking for some of your help in telling this story.
Now, if that's all right with everyone here, I want you to give me a hearty hip hip huzzah. H-U-Z-Z-A. I'll give you the hip hip, you give me the huzzah. Hip hip!
Huzzah!
Very good. Let's begin.
When Benjamin Franklin discovered Philadelphia in 1776, he decided to fly a red, white, and blue kite.
Wait. No, Benjamin Franklin did not found Philadelphia. He didn't?
No. Although Benjamin Franklin is a famous historical Philadelphian, he didn't actually found it.
No. Are you sure? Because you can't throw a rock in this town without hitting something with his name on it.
No, really, it's true.
No, he didn't. That honor belongs to, can I get a drum roll? Very good. William Penn, who received the land from King Charles II of England as a partial repayment of a debt to his father.
Right, okay, I got this. William Penn received Pennsylvania from King Charles II in 1681. He came here, dropped anchor, waded ashore, and planted his flag, and declared these verdant fields and pristine forests as Pennsylvania.
Well, actually, it wasn't quite that easy.
Now, there were already people living here when Penn arrived.
There were?
Yes. Well, the first European power to lay claim to these lands was the Netherlands. You see, they set up a colony just north of here called New Amsterdam, which later became New York. They also established a fort about 5 miles from here on the Delaware, across from the Schuylkill River, planting the red, white, and blue Dutch flag, not far from where we stand now.
Right. So William Penn arrives in Pennsylvania and has to fight the Dutch.
No, wait, no. Actually, the first challenge to Dutch authority came from a group of renegade Dutch and Swedes who settled just south of here and started a colony called New Sweden. They claimed land that is now part of Delaware, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania.
Right. They brought with them the blue and yellow Swedish flag and the first threat to Dutch rule.
Right. So, what we'll do...
To the north.
Picture it if you can. To the north, we have the colony of New Netherlands. To the south, New Sweden. Now, both sides have claimed the Delaware River.
Both colonies are basically companies looking to make some money.
Conflict was unavoidable.
Right. What we'll do is, why don't we use all these lovely people in the courtyard here as a microcosm to help us explain the conflict between the Swedes and the Dutch, and that was inevitable in our early life.
What? I have no idea what you just said.
Okay. Everybody sitting here, you are now Dutch.
Yeah.
With your linguistic ability.
That's perfect.
Your linguistic ability, your fine business sense, and your casual description of the word coffee. Everyone not sitting here, you are Swedish. Swedish! Yeah! Good for you. Swedish, with your fine Nordic heritage, you're easy to assemble furniture, and your many contributions to cuisine.
All right, Dutch people, we're going to need a sentence, a statement that exemplifies our national philosophy. So, and nice and loudly, because we're rather seriously outnumbered, how about stop and smell the tulips?
Stop and smell the tulips!
All right, well done.
Now, Swedes, It's your turn, yeah. Now, I'd like to add on a personal note that this is actually the height of the Swedish Empire. It actually gets no, really, don't laugh. In the mid-1600s, Sweden was actually a formidable world power. It's true. However, if this conflict goes badly, all that could change, and the entire empire could crumble in upon itself.
No pressure.
So, Swedes, I need you to dig down deep in that ancient well of Norse passion and say, try the smorgasbord, yeah? You're Dutch, be quiet. Excellent!
You're on my side. And so it was in the late summer of 1655, a Dutch fleet sailed up the Delaware River and a bloody conflict ensued. Stop and smell the tulips!
Try the smorgasbord, yeah?
Stop and smell the tulips!
Try the smorgasbord, yeah?
Stop and smell the tulips!
Smorgasbord!
Tulips!
Smorgasbord!
Tulips!
Smorgasbord!
Tulips!
Well, unfortunately, I'm sorry, Swedes. The Swedes lost.
But don't worry, it's not going to be as bad as you think. The Swedes, you'll still get to keep your religion, your language, even your military. You're just under Dutch rule.
So, by the mid-1600s, this North Atlantic region was controlled by the Dutch.
Tulips rule.
I'm confused.
You clearly. What's the problem?
Well, if this area is all Dutch, why aren't we speaking Dutch or even Swedish?
Well, that's because the Dutch victory was rather short-lived. You see, not 10 years after the defeat of the Swedes, the English decide to get involved. Enter the grand old Duke of York.
Oh, he had 10,000 men.
No, he didn't. He had about 450 men, but it was enough to make the Dutch surrender and for New Amsterdam to become New York.
All the Dutch say, oh.
But 6 years later, the Dutch take it back.
After that, the English retake it.
And now it is the English flag that flies all over North America from Newfoundland to the Carolinas. Sorry.
How exactly does William Penn fit in all this?
Yes.
I'm so glad you asked that. You see, in the 1680s, William Penn was a member of a relatively new organization called the Religious Society of Friends.
Quakers!
Right, and Quakers in England weren't terribly popular because they had a few radical ideas like refusing to pay taxes to support the wars.
Treating men and women as equals.
Yay!
Refusing to bow to the king, or really anyone for that matter.
Yes. So, now when William Penn arrived here in Pennsylvania, he was greeted by the Swedes! Oh, I'm sorry. But before that happened, he proposed killing the two birds with one stone. You see, if the king would just grant Penn land in the New World, he would trigger a mass exodus of Quakers, while at the same time canceling out the 16,000-pound debt owed to the Penn family.
The king agreed and granted William Penn 45,000 square miles of land in the New World, making he named it after Penn's father, Pennsylvania, and made William Penn the single largest private landowner in the world.
That's pretty impressive. But what did the king get out of all this?
Well, aside from a whole lot less Quakers to worry about. 1/5 of all the gold and silver mined right here in Pennsylvania.
Making him rich beyond the dreams of avarice!
Well, no. Have you ever heard of the Pennsylvania Gold Rush?
Exactly! There wasn't one.
So, eventually William Penn arrived and was greeted by the Swedes!
By the smorgasbord. Yeah!
Then what happened?
They were still there.
Oh, you're all still here?
No, they were still here. As a matter of fact, it's no coincidence that the flag of Philadelphia is actually yellow and blue, the same as the Swedish flag.
But he was also greeted by the original inhabitants of the Delaware River Valley.
The Dutch!
No! Sorry, no.
The English!
No, wrong again. No, the Lenni
Then
Lenape.
who? The what?
The Lenni Lenape.
What is that?
They're the peaceful native people who have lived here for like thousands of years.
What did their flag look like?
I don't think they had one.
When William Penn arrived here, he met with the leader of the Lenni Lenape, a man named Tammany in the village of Shakamaxon, and the two agreed to a treaty. William Penn agreed that, unlike other cities, he would never build a wall around Philadelphia, and the Lenape would have free reign to come and go as they please. For Tammany's part, he said that the two people would live in harmony as long as the waters flowed in the creeks and rivers, and as long as the stars and moon endure.
I'm sure that's a tradition that will carry on.
Right. So, with Pennsylvania firmly established, William Penn begins to advertise. You see, he calls Philadelphia his holy experiment because when people come here, they can worship any way they please.
Many Quakers come here to Philadelphia, but so did a lot of other people.
French Huguenots, German Mennonites, Lutherans, Catholics, thank you Mennonite crowd, Jews, oppressed people from all corners of Europe.
But that's not all. See, starting in 1684, enslaved Africans started arriving in the New World, leading to a strange sort of dichotomy. How do you talk about freedom when you hold other people in bondage?
It is a question that Philadelphians and Americans will struggle with for over 2 centuries.
By the time of his death in 1718, Philadelphia has become a small city of several thousand and is growing. People are coming from all over Europe and elsewhere in America, including a 17-year-old runaway printer's apprentice.
Who's that?
Ben Franklin.
Are you telling me he wasn't even born here?
No, Ben Franklin came to Philadelphia in 1723.
And?
Well, even though he wasn't here at the very beginning, he did help to usher in the golden age of colonial Philadelphia.
By establishing things like hospitals and libraries and universities.
Right, and along the way, he invented bifocal swim fins, the lightning rod.
A busybody, glass harmonica, and the Franklin stove.
He also charted the Gulf Stream, wrote treatises on wind currents, and even found time to fly kites in questionable weather.
But even more important than all of that was Franklin's role as a diplomat. You see, he spent years in England trying to reconcile the differences and the ever-widening gulf between the colonies and the mother country.
Unfortunately, their differences proved insurmountable, and fighting broke out as Franklin was on his way home.
Wait, you're talking about the war, aren't you?
Right.
I have something.